something that's been more of a standout than the Big Prawn. The NRRRL Grand Final is once again featured at Ballina. It is featured here at every season except for 2016 and up until 2013. It's the NRRRL Grand Final for 2019. It's been my absolute pleasure to be on the call for you. Dwayne Neville here with Nathan Cross to bring you the 2019 A-grade Grand Final between the Ballina Seagulls and the Murwillumbah Mustangs. These two teams are featured in Grand Finals at this very ground in season 2015 and once again here in 2019. Last time the Grand Final was played here, it was the Tweed Coast Raiders spoiling the Ballina Seagulls party with a 24-4 win here 12 months ago. Ballina on that occasion finished second. Last time Murwillumbah featured in the Grand Final, they won it in 2016 with a 16-14 victory over the Cochin Hornets. Ballina, as I made mention, have hosted 6 out of 7 of the last Grand Finals with a 4-1 record, including 2 against Murwillumbah. As we wait for the two teams here come onto the field, as I am joined by a premiership winner both as a player and a coach for the Byron Bay Red Devils, and the only man to have done both and be in the commentary box for a Grand Final, Nathan Cross. Absolute pleasure to be with you here, brother.
G'day Nev, and good afternoon to everyone watching the live stream via our Markoff Media YouTube page. Mate, very excited to be here this afternoon. What a cracking afternoon we have. A little bit of smoke around as we've seen down this eastern seaboard over the past few days thanks to those fires. However, it won't deter the scenes here this afternoon. We've got a big contingent of Murwillumbah faithful, and as you can see out there now, we've got the Raiders. They featured in the Ladies League tag as well as the reserve grade today, taking out both of those fixtures. And Dwayne, it looks as if they're going to jump on the Ballina Seagulls bandwagon here and sort of chair them through the tunnel as they run out.
As we must mention, we're proudly sponsored by Ladbrokes. Head over to ladbrokes.com.au for all your betting information. Gamble responsibly. Well, of course, we're proudly sponsored by the Cochin Leagues Club and the Clydesdale Motel, Steakhouse and Casino. As we wait, let's give you the tail of tape for 2019 Grand Final. And Ballina, would you believe it, as strong as the lineup they've had in previous seasons, it's only just got that little bit stronger. Chad North, after being absent for the past 6 weeks with an injury, he takes his spot back on one of the flanks. And, of course, the back line now, Kel Shiva goes back in from winger to centre. And at fullback, Oliver Regan, Zach Beecher features on the other wing. Sorry, centre. Reece Richards completes the back line. In the halves, we have Jamie Lyon and Jess Perry. And in the interim, we have Nicholas Ritter, Michael Dwayne, Andrew Brasek. And in the second row, we have Anthony Coleman, Jack Durham, and lock of the scrum is Hayden Hanson. On the bench, we have Phil Crosby, Liam Anderson, Billy Dwayne, Ray Buchanan, and Matt Crowhurst. So what do we need to know about the Mustangs there, Crosby?
Yeah, the Mustangs, they've had an interesting week this week. A couple of injuries, and unfortunately the loss of Bailey Crompton, their key lock forward, through suspension at the judiciary on Wednesday night. So they will line up as follows. At the back, we've got Toby McIntosh. He had a big first half in this major semi-final here in Ballina 2 weeks ago. The return of Jack Bishop, their potent winger out there. He'll partner Cusack on the wings. And in the centres, we've got the skipper, Caleb Howell and Adam Walker. The halves is a young pairing. It's Ethan Kane and Cade Hill. And then in the front row, we've got Big Remy Vanu and Jonty van der Scher. And the hooker, he's been named to play here today, Joe Besgrove, was under an injury cloud. We'll see how that shoulder does hold up. He's at hooker. And the back row's a strong one. We've got Keelan Biltoff, Dan Turtland and Wade Riley. And on the bench, we've got Nick Walker, Rob Shepherd comes in, Sam O'Day, and number 17 will be Scott Nichols.
And you can see that Caleb Hale, the Murwillumbah Mustangs captain, leads them out for Grand Final 2019. They almost got it done in 2013 against Ballina. And in 2015, Ballina won a very one-sided contest. And as you can see there, Tim Booth has drawn the assignment for his first ever Grand Final.
Yeah, congratulations to Tim Booth. He's had a good season with the whistle, Boothie, and let's hope by the end of the 80 minutes here that no one remembers who the referee is, and it's just a nice, open, free-flowing game of rugby league.
So either Ballina or Murwillumbah have featured in a Grand Final since 2010, and since between the season of 2011 and 19, Ballina and Murwillumbah have shared minor premierships, with the exception, of course, of Tweed in 2018. Murwillumbah winning on 5 of them, and Ballina winning 3, including this year. Ballina have won the major when winning the minor. That's in seasons 2014-17. Both teams have shared the major title since 2012. And that season 2012 to 2018. Ballina on 4 occasions, Murwillumbah on 2 of them. But since 2005, Murwillumbah have featured in 7 Grand Finals and only converted those into 2 victories. This Grand Final is only their second time they've featured in a Grand Final, not as the minor premiers. You have to go back to NRRRL inception in 2005 when they played the Tweed Coast Seagulls, where they went down 44-18. Ballina have featured in 7 grand finals for 4 wins. They have never won from Ballina, so they're going to be more than thankful to have their 18th man, as we can see there on the T-shirts being handed out today, Crossy, for $20 down there. They are indeed the 18th man, the Yobbo's Hill.
Yeah, they are, and obviously they had that advantage last year, but it wasn't to be in 2018. The Brent Kite coached Tweed Coast Raiders were too good. So will we see this year the Seagulls sort of turn the tables on that and go one better and take out this premiership, or will we see the Mustangs follow a similar route to what the Raiders did last year, in that losing that major semi-final, just sort of scraping through and having a hard-earned win during the preliminary final, and then using that momentum and being too strong here on grand final day? So time will tell. We'll know in another 80 minutes or so time, but this will be a really good game of footy. For mine, Nev, the Mustangs have to start well today. They've had a few injuries. They looked at a tired and sort of a physically beaten team there at the end of the 80 minutes last year, although they did get the points. Couple of injuries, got a suspension. I just think if they can't start well here today, it might be a bridge too far for them. However, on the flip side, if they can start well, that creates a bit of pressure on Ballina's side, given that they are sort of favourites going in here, and with pressure can cause funny things on the football field. So for mine, Nev, if it's going to be for the Mustangs today, they've got to have a big first half.
So both times that Murwillumbah have won the grand final, both of their wins, have been decided by 2 points or less. So if they do get the job done today, then we could be treating for a close contest. It's the Ballina Seagulls as they march onto the field with their captain coach Jamie Lyon, who was an off-season pickup, one of the 2 marquees with NRRRL experience, and they'll be looking to right the wrong from 12 months previous against when they played the Tweed Coast Raiders in last year's grand final.
And just on that, Nev, just before we go any further, big congratulations to Jamie Lyon. He's come back to the local comp this year. You know, he's come into a club whereby they've been premiers or they've been in grand finals every year. So sort of the only way he's really down for Killer. So it was a big task coming into it. He was on a bit of a hiding to nothing, but he's come in for all the right reasons. And speaking to everyone within the club here, they just absolutely love him. He's bought into the culture. He's actually strengthened that culture. And congratulations to him. I hope he has a big game here this afternoon.
So 9 times out of 14 in NRRRL history has the minor premiership been won. Have also taken the grand final as well, and 8 times has the grand final been decided by 6 points or less. So we're just waiting readiness now for the national anthem. We'll send it downstairs for the national anthem. So the national anthem now being sung. 18 weeks of home and away season being done and won. It's just one game left, and 80 minutes if in regular time, if not including extra time, that's going to decide this year's 2019 NRRRL competition. Ballina have had their noses in front by a couple of lengths. But as we learnt from the Morris brothers roundabouts earlier this morning, that all means very little on the biggest Sunday at the NRRRL calendar, Crossy.
Yeah, anything can happen on the big day, and great to see a really good crowd here this afternoon, and just really keen to see how both teams start this match. Always hard as the minor premiers. You go through, you have a week off, then you play the major semi-final, you win, you have another week off. So expect Ballina to be a little bit sluggish out of the blocks, although I know that's not their plan. But just speaking from experience, I know it is hard to get going having that one game in a month. So I'll be keen to see how they come out. And as I said earlier, Murwillumbah Mustangs, they must start well if they're any chance here this afternoon.
So the Ballina Seagulls, they'll have the first kickoff here. They're running right to left on your screen. You're watching this on Markoff Media. Dwayne Neville, Nathan Cross here with the call here in 80 minutes. We'll see who will take the 2019 NRRRL competition. Jamie Lyon will get things started. And Tim Booth blows time on, and we're away in the final. And Ballina in defence, move up in a perfect line. So this is going to be taken in the tackle there by Jack Durham. Reese Richards there getting involved, looking for work early. That's Joe Besgrove. There was doubt of him starting in the 13 with that shoulder injury, but he's come out. About to look at big 80-metre effort this time around.
I looked at Besgrove in the warm-up, Dwayne. He looked good. He was very chirpy. He was a lot of chat. He looked strong, and he didn't show any signs of carrying that shoulder. So I hope for their sake that he can get through today.
And of course, that's a man there, Wade Riley, he had a little bit of an ankle issue in last week's game against Casino, as well as Dane Turtland. So both of those players are out there today looking fresh. So the Mustangs, they kick that. That's Cade Hill, kicks that one straight down into Reese Richards. And he's going to be met there by Cade Hill. He's probably been the standout player for the final series, not just for the Murwillumbah Mustangs, Crossy, but probably for the entire final series across all 5 teams. Yeah,
he's had a great final series, as we see. Good carry there from Regan. Young Hill, I spoke about him last time. He's an impressive young kid. He's not much to look at. There's not much of him. He's a skinny, sort of young 18-year-old man, but he's got a bright future.
So this is Michael Dwayne to play from dummy half. And have that one 35 metres away from Mustangs line. This is Michael Dwayne. Gets it into the hands. That's Jeff Perry. They're starting really hard and fast, like they did 2 weeks ago against the Mustangs here. Crossy. This is going to be now Michael Dwayne. Gets it into the hands, out into Perry. Perry into Jamie Lyon. Big cross-field kick across field. And it's just in the sun. Just the sun in the face there from the Mustangs, but it's going to be collected there by Adam Walker. But that's going to be a 7-tackle set coming now for the Mustangs there, Crossy.
Yeah, nice kick there from Killer. He kicked it off the outside of the boot, and it sort of spun around, and Reese Richards couldn't quite hang on to it. But with this tricky breeze out there, tough afternoon for fullbacks and outside backs, particularly wingers. So those wingers are going to need their centres to run some good escorts and run their opposing players off the ball and make the catch much easier, as we see Hansen involved there along with looks like Brassic.
So Ballina, they completed with a 15-2 record coming into the final series with a 422 points differential. They won the minor premiership officially when they beat the Tweed Coast Raiders in the second last round of the season. So that's going to be kicked down there by Ethan Kane. He scored a very impressive try last week to get the Mustangs. Will help get Mustangs into grand final there. That's Oliver Regan doing a big darting run to get 25 metres on the fly. And so this is going to be played from dummy half, getting into the hands of Reese Richards, playing from centre position. And he's going to be met there by Joe Besgrove on the second phase of play. So this is going to be, I think that's Chad North there. So they've been missing Chad North for the last 6 weeks, Crossy, and he'll be a welcome addition after having him off for the last 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, it shows the opinion that Captain Coach Jamie Lyon does have of Chad North, because hard to come into a sort of a winning team into a grand final, as we see Durham have a good carry. But so obviously Killer's got a high opinion of him, and he's been there, done it before, Chad North. So he'll be happy to take his place here on grand final day.
So Michael Dwayne, he'll play short side, gets it in the hands of Jamie Lyon. He'll be looking big effort from the captain coach. This is going to be Michael Dwayne, 5th and last, playing the short side. That's a nice kick. It gains about 20-30 metres, and I think it's just going to roll over the sidelines there. So there'll be a scrum thief to the Mustangs 10 metres away from their own line.
Yeah, good end of the set there. I think that might have been Young Sheether, was it, that got that kick away and just found touch. So just steadying the ship there, and I think that's what Ballina need, just to build a little bit of confidence, given that they haven't played much football, and just get through their sets, get to tackle 5, find touch. They do have this breeze at the moment, although it is swirling. It's predominantly from the west, but there's probably more southwest in it than anything. So they will have the benefit of that. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jamie Lyon look to kick a 40-20.
So that's going to be the captain there, Caleb Hale. He'll take the first hit up there, 10 metres out from their own line, the Murwillumbah Mustangs. So it's a lot more smoother start than it was, especially in Ballina's case, because at this point they already considered a try behind where the Murwillumbah Mustangs are running from. So this will be the third play. Bears Grove into the hands of Remy Vanu. He's going to be met there in the tackle by, that is Zach Beecher. And we've been guilty of it a couple of times. It was actually Zach Beecher that started the wing the past couple of weeks. I actually said Kel Sheaver. So you could chalk that one up on my end there, Crossy.
No, the good thing today, Nev, is that they're playing on opposite sides of the field, so we shouldn't be able to get them wrong.
Okay, so I don't know. I mean, it must be the slick black hair. That's what we've discussed the last few weeks.
That's it. And so, obviously, Beecher's got those red boots, mate.
So that's a nice big kick there. That was from Cade Hill. Well read there by, I think that's Oliver Regan. And he's been so impressive, especially the last couple of months in defence off the kicks. Probably the only one you can match him there with is that Noah King from Casino there, Crossing.
Yeah, Noah King had a good final series too, but you can just see the benefit that they get from the experience of Regan catching the football on the full and then chewing up the meters. And he got tackled near halfway there as we see them go wide through Hanson.
So that's Hanson. He's been another one of the pickups that since the post round one coming from the Burleigh Bears. So that's Jess Perry. That's Hanson. Michael Dwayne looking for a potential line break. Managed to get the offload. And Jamie Lyon, who else but Jamie Lyon to get the first points in Grand Final 2019. Right under the post. And Ballina looking to their captain coach and looking to their leader to get the first points at 4-0.
Yeah, and it was that man. It was the captain coach, Jamie Lyon, big game player. They don't get any bigger game players than him, Jamie Lyon. Dwayne, you and I went to the NRRRL presentation on Friday night, and I made the mention that Murwillumbah defend structured shape quite well. However, my concern for them was that defending that on-the-ball type attack, and that's exactly what I was talking about there. We saw Jess Perry go to the line and turn the ball inside to the man that passed it to him in Michael Dwayne. We know the strength of Michael Dwayne. He went through, and who should pop up in support is the ever-present Jamie Lyon. He's played 1 or 2 NRL games, Jamie Lyon, and may or may not have played for his state in Australia. So I think he's played in a couple of big games before here than here today. So he gets the first try of the day, and he'll be looking to stretch that out to 6-0 with a kick to come.
So Jamie Lyon, he was also, for me, Crossy, responsible for why Ballina are hosting today in the first place, because they were in trouble up until the 60th minute 2 weeks ago, and it was just some try assist with the likes of Reece Richards and others to get them out of trouble and get them to win by 10 points. But we must make mention, though, they did have a fast start as Jamie Lyon goes to convert his own kick and add the extras. So that's make it now Ballina 6, Murwillumbah Mustangs 0. I must make mention, though, they had a fast start, and then we saw what happened after the 20th, 40th minute mark 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we did, and obviously that's something that they would have spoken about, no doubt. So my worry for the Mustangs was exactly this. If Ballina get an early try, see, they've got guys like Wade Riley wearing the number 13 here today. He's been enormous in the final series, although it's been his efforts off the bench rather than starting the match, which he's doing today through the suspension of Crompton. So, here's a good kickoff.
So is that going to find the... Reece Richards just managed to plug it at the last minute.
Well, Reece Richards had glue in his hands there. He had no right to take that.
So this will be Reece Richards take the first set up. So Ballina, they've won the last 8 straight, including the last 13 out of 14. But as I made mention, that matters very little. And Morris Brothers Remats, I made mention, they only had the one draw. They didn't lose up until today, and then they lost in extra time. So, and then you've got to look to the likes also of Oliver Regan. He's a 3rd overall try scorer with 15. Then you've got Jack Bishop, who's come back from having the week off last week. So you've got the top 3 try scorers for both teams there. Of course, Liam Cusack and Jack Bishop occupy spots 1 and 2. So this is going to be played by Michael Dwayne, 40 metres out from the Mustangs line. Lyon kicks it short side. And, that only just found the sideline without hitting the full there, Crossy.
Yeah, he sort of miskicked that line. It come off the inside of his foot. But nevertheless, after points, they're going to, they're found touch 25 metres out. So they'd be happy with that. What was disturbing for me, Nev, was, sorry, as we have an interruption here. What was disturbing for me was how easy Ballina got out of their own end after points. That Murwillumbah defence has got to be better than that. They had poor line speed. They were very passive in defence there, and their tackle efficiency was quite poor. So that's something that they need to fix and do it quickly.
So this is now going to be played into the hands. That's Adam Walker. He scored a double last week against Casino. And I said on radio this morning here, Crossy, I said Liam Cusack being the top try scorer with 25 he'll need to get 26, if not 27 on his skyrocket. I feel if the Mustangs are going to take the shield away, well, take it out of the grips of Ballina at least.
Mate, definitely. But what's even more important for them today, as we just saw a great carry from Jack Bishop, is actually helping their big men get out of trouble, given that they are missing the two Crompton boys, who are a big part of their go forward. So really for me today, mate, Cusack and Bishop have to have big ones, not just in try-scoring ability, but helping them get out of their own end.
So this is Caleb Howe. He's going to be taken up there by Joe Basgrove. Big long pass into the hands of, that is it. Ethan Kane sends that one and just right at the feet there of Reece Richards. He'll go for a gallop to centre of field. He's going to be met there by the big Englishman, Dan Turtland. He has had an impressive final series, also scoring his first try for the season in that first game against Casino, which we called a few weeks ago, Crossing.
That's right. So let's, while we've got that chance, say hello to Mrs. Turtland. We know she loves to tune in, so hope you're enjoying it thus far.
She'd be watching from the UK, no doubt. And as I made mention, Crossing, we've got a bit of an overseas contingent. This has been streamed in no less than, and this is just from my knowledge, we've got viewers in New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, the US, Canada, China, and UK, and also Germany. So we've got no less than 7 countries watching into the wee hours of Saturday morning for this one. So what a time to have Markov Media streaming the NRRRL Grand Final, Crossy.
Well, there you go, and I think my mum's inspired. Michael Dwayne's away here.
Michael Dwayne's got the line break. He's only got the fullback to beat. He's got help there on his left side. That's Oliver Regan, but he's going to be brought down there by Liam Cusack.
Tell you what, there's a question mark over that pass.
So this is 5th and last. They're at 6s and 7s defence here. They can ill afford to let another try in the first 10 minutes. Unfortunately for the Mustangs, that's exactly what's going to happen. And that is Kel Sheever that's gone over there to add the extras. And within the first 10 minutes, it's now 10-0 kick to come for the Seagulls.
Oh, we'll put that down to Michael Dwayne. He just carved them up through the middle. And again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but that was my concern, just in and around the football, around that ruck, Murwillumbah's ability to defend that. However, I do feel for the Mustangs, the pass from Dwayne to Regan, I thought was half a metre forward. We had a pretty good position of it here, and given that the Dwayne speed out dummy half, he sort of left both the referee and the touch judges sort of for dead there, but nevertheless, they're the breaks sometimes you need to get in grand finals. Regan got tackled and then went to the right edge through line, and he found Sheether, and he stepped off his right foot and he got over, and he pushes that lead now out to 10 points to nil with a kick to come.
So Kel Sheever, he's had an impressive 2019 season, and as well as the final series. That is his 8th try for the campaign. He was featured on the score sheet against the Mustangs 2 weeks ago. So this will be Jamie Lyon to add the extra. So they had I must iterate though, they had a similar start like this against the Mustangs 2 weeks ago. And the Mustangs, they know that they're going to have to really pick up with the job now, because Ballina, they're showing why the week off. They've had 2 weeks off out of 4. And even when they were playing a grueling 18-week per round series, that they've always had their best 1 to 17 on the park every week. So is that Jamie Lyon as the extras, thus now making the score 12 points to nil. The Ballina Seagulls over the Murwillumbah Mustangs here at Kingford Smith Park here in Ballina Crossing.
Well, this is danger period now for the Mustangs. So this, all week thinking about playing in a big grand final, training on Tuesday and Thursday night, being down sort of 12-0 after 12 minutes wouldn't have been part of their thinking, both for the players and for Coach Nathan Jordan. So they've got to rally the troops here and just get a good kick away and force an error in defence and start to get their game back on track.
So as play gets restarted here, this is going to be taken here, and that's going to go into the hands of
that's Brassic.
So Andrew Brassic, he's going to be brought down. Yeah, that is indeed Andrew Brassic. So it's brought down there by Ethan Kane. This is Michael Dwayne. That's gone up there about 30 metres away from the Ballina Seagulls line. So I think that's, is that Jess Perry there?
That's Coleman having a carry.
Anthony Coleman.
Yeah, but you will notice, Dwayne, they're playing the ball so fast. They're making easy metres. This is not good signs for the Mustangs.
So as I made mention, the Ballina Seagulls scored 2 quick tries 2 weeks ago. The Mustangs, found some groove and got themselves back into the contest. But this is a very similar start to what Ballina faced on the other end 12 months ago. And this is really what they needed to do, to be fair, because they were basically on the back foot after the first 2 or 3 minutes against the Tweed Coast Raiders. So this is a different Ballina team, though, both in mental capability, physical, and as well as personnel, because there's about, as we may mention time and time throughout the year, they're doing it with 5 players that aren't out there. They were there last year, not there this year.
Well, again, that makes it even such a bigger achievement for Captain Coach Jamie Lyon.
Oh, hang on. So there's a bit of afters there in back play there, so hopefully that doesn't transpire. Oh, there's a bit of a push by Killen Biltoff.
Well, Biltoff was having a go at line there, so something's happened. But if I was built off, I'd just worry about playing footy and not worrying about what's going on there, because they're 12-0 down at the moment and they need him to lift.
Yeah, so Ballina also just playing just as well on defence there, just to keep the Mustangs there inside 30. And so this is going to be Jack Bishop, so he's going to be bringing that centre of field, fifth and last, so just inside the 40 there. So this will be Besgrove's peeling for a penalty. He's not going to get it though, so this is going to be Kate Hill. Kicks that one downtown, should find Reece Riches, and it does. So all of our Mustangs, coming in this one since 2013 with a 9-8 record in finals, whilst Ballina, they've only lost the one finals game since winning that grand final back in 2013, crossing that's actually a 12-1 final record. And of course that one was the one that eluded them last year, and they want back against Toy Coast. And
again, that sort of further to my point around losing those key players last year with Batiste and Montgomery and Dan Gibson. It makes it even more special. He goes Durham.
Good run by Durham. Got the potential line break, and he has, but Tim Booth there is called. He's called that a penalty.
He's gone off early there, Tim Booth. He's ruled offside, but Durham was away.
Wow, okay. Because he was going to be in there.
Well, that was going to be try time. That was about to be 16-0 with a kick to come. So the Mustangs can count their lucky stars. They've got a man down
now,
here.
Of course, you got to play advantage. So I think he might have stopped it for this. There was all these Ballina players running towards him. I think safety of the player, but...
Look, in defence of Tim Booth, I mean, if he's made the decision it's a penalty, then, he wasn't to know that Jack Durham would make a line break, So we're certainly not being harsh there on Tim Booth. That's what he saw. But shame for the Seagulls, because they're about to extend their lead. And to me, this is paper-thin Mustangs defence at the moment. And even when they've got the ball, they're only going 20, 25, 30 metres at best in yardage. And the Seagulls are going 50 and 60. And, it only looks like one team's come to play here today, which I actually watched the Mustangs warm up, and I was impressed. They look ready. But that hasn't translated from the warm-up field out to Kingsford Smith Park.
And Crossy, I always was concerned, and I said this right at the full time in Murwillumbah last week, that I just think Murwillumbah, once they got the job done, they gritted down, and when Roy Bell got sent off, and I think that was just as much part to do with it, and because Casino lost them. I think Casino beat themselves based in that regard, but the fact that they got themselves here, they were well and truly bashed and battered from end to end. And then, and I think a lot of these, at least 5 of them, or 6 of them, I said to you even during the week, that I think some of them are carrying injuries. They're still not right.
Yeah, you're right, mate. And I think Casino actually set the template last week of how Murwillumbah needed to play today in the first half, but that just hasn't been the case. And they're setting up big shape here on their left edge. Don't be surprised if you see Coleman on the lead or Regan out the back.
So Michael Dwayne plays it into the hands. That's Perry. That's Perry now. Gets it into the hands. That's Oliver Regan. And passes it. That's gone into Zach Beecher. He's going to go himself, Zach Beecher. Has he got the strength? He certainly has. Zach Beecher, it only took... Oh, hang on. He's called a penalty against...
Yeah, he's called that Oliver Regan doubled in behind his man as a shepherd.
Okay.
I thought Regan, he sort of did, but then he tried to sort of duck back the other way. But once again... That defence from the Mustangs is, well, it's certainly not a grand final level. It's sort of not really even first grade level at the moment. Coach Nathan Jordan will be filthy down on the bench.
So there it is, Wade Riley. He was for me one of the injury concerns coming in this week, because he did have a bit of a bad ankle injury on his left side there. So that's Dan Turtland. He's going to be brought down to Michael Dwayne. This is going to be Besgrove to play a little quick play from dummy half. He gets into the hands of Johnny Vandershaw, and he's going to be brought down there about just inside the Ballina Seagulls 30. This is Besgrove playing the short side. That's gone into the hands of, I think that
was McIntosh.
Toby McIntosh. He'll be looking for a big game in the following 60 minutes. It's going into the hands of Remy Vanu. And he's going to be brought down there by Hayden Hansen. I think he's just dropped that. And Remy Vanu has just spilt it there, and it's going to be a scrum feed now. 20 out for the Ballina Seagulls.
Okay, well, they come up with an error there, the Mustangs, but that was their best set in yardage thus far. And it came from a really good carry from the big pommy in Dan Turtland. And he actually generated a quick play the ball, which meant I think it was Vanu or Vandershaw had the next carry, and he made good yards, and then he in turn got a good play the ball. Then McIntosh carried in. So that's what their strength of the Mustangs. They need to generate that play the ball. At the moment, they haven't been able to do that. So let's hope that set of 6 now sets the benchmark for where they go from here. So
the scrum goes down. Jess Perry will play it here on the first phase. Plays on the left side. That's gone into the hand. That's Chad North. He's playing a lot of from centre of field there, Chad North, and from dummy half and into the centre. So Crossy. So he was named on the wing. So are they playing with different blueprints there, you reckon?
Yeah, look, I think he hasn't played for a while, so he's looking to, as a penalty.
So penalty there by the Mustangs, and it's just, well, we didn't get our first penalty for the first few minutes, so Tim's just letting that one free flow. So the penalty count now, Ballina 2 to Murwillumbah 1.
Yeah, I was just going to say with Jack North, he hasn't played any footy for a while, so he's probably just trying to get some early touches and build that confidence up. Although I did have a look at him before, he's a little bit gassed, and when you haven't played for a while, the legs can feel pretty heavy. So you'll have a couple of carries and have a spell out here on the wing, North.
So Ballina, they've had 7 players that have played every game this year. A further 4 have not missed more than 2 games throughout the year. So I was made mention of that like 5-10 minutes ago, that they've always had their best. Being in different like Team A, Team B and whatnot, but they've always had their best 17 out every week, and that's paying dividends here thus far in the early portion of the grand finals. We enter as we come to an end of the first quarter here. It's 12-0 Ballina over Murwillumbah in grand final 2019. That's Remy Vignew with the tackle, 10 metres out. Mustangs, they cannot afford another try against them here. This is going to be Michael Dwayne plays it short side into the hands. That's Durham into the hands of Lyon. That's gone into the hands of Hayden Hansen. I think he's just spilt that there, but he's brought it back in there. So this is going to be, that's Nicholas Ritter. And I think he's just been caught for 4 pass there crossing. It's going to be now scrum feed for the Mustangs. They're just hanging on there, not conceding that 3rd try, but I think it's coming again for the Mustangs. It's looking not good for them at all.
Hanging on. I don't even know what you'd say, mate. It's they dodged one there massively. It was a real to forward pass, and again, it's that combination on that right edge with Lyon out to Durham. I mean, Jack Durham, to me, he's the Wade Graham of the NRRRL. He plays on that edge. I know Wade Graham plays on the left for Cronulla, but Durham's on the right. But he can pre-line pass, he can stand in tackles and offload, he can kick. He does it all. As we got a one-on-one here, do we?
So that's Hayden Hansen. He's liking to snatch that one from Ethan Kane. It's not going to eventuate. So there's going to be Toby McIntosh. That's into the hands of, I think that's Ethan Kane. He's going to be brought down there. Joe Besgrove. He's going to be looking for a short side play. Heads that way. Gets it in. That's going to be brought down there by, I think that's Jamie Lyon getting involved there as well as Andrew Brasek. That's going to be passed in the hands of Vignew. He's going to be brought down there 45 metres away from the Mustangs line. Besgrove. He's moving. He's doing his job though, Joe Besgrove. Doing what he needs to do. Just moving from one end to the other and trying to at least make it creative for the Mustangs. But Ballina's defence is just holding that much better. So that's going to be great kick downtown there. It's going to be well caught there by Chad North. He'll go for a gallop. He's going to be met there by his opposite number, Jack Bishop. And a good legs tackle there by the captain there, Caleb Howe.
Yeah, and it reminds me, to me, it looks like the Mustangs are the team that had the week off and have taken sort of 10, 15, 20 minutes to get going. And now they're kind of getting in their groove. Besgrove's sort of jumping out, holding up the markers and playing little shape to his sort of front rowers or his middle forwards coming onto the ball. But on the flip side, you can just see how easy these metres are.
Michael Dwayne, he's been looking, mate, that's about his 3rd or 4th line break he's made in the first 20 minutes, Michael Dwayne.
They got him on the right.
So there's big contingent on the left. So let's see what gets caught out of this. So he's called that one as an infringement against Ballina. And so we'll just wait for Tim Booth, see what he calls here.
Well, he was tangled up, and it looked like Dwayne just came up with a drop there, but just a fumble, so we could have a Mustangs feed here, Nev.
Absolutely. So trust you enjoy the coverage wherever may be watching on Grand Final Day for 2019. Proudly sponsored by Ladbrokes. Head over to ladbrokes.com.au for all your betting information. Gamble responsibly. As well, throughout the final series, we're so thankful to have the Coogin Leagues Club and the Clydesdale Motel Steakhouse and Casino on board for the final series. We can't thank you guys enough. So this is going to be played by the Mustangs on the second phase. This is going to be Caleb Howe playing for dummy half. That's gone into Wade Riley. He's going to be pinned down there 25 metres away from the Mustangs line. This is going to now be McIntosh. Passes it. That's gone into Dan Turtland. Big hard run. Michael Dwayne does well to get around the legs. As well as Hayden Hansen there also looking for work. This is going to be Toby McIntosh. Brings that up a further 10 metres. So this is now going to be Besgrove. He'll be playing a lot of right side in that place, and he keeps going that way. It's been working well for them in the last 5 minutes, the Murwillumbah Mustangs. And they do well now to finally get inside the Ballina Seagulls half a field. Besgrove, 5th and last. That's going to be now kicked there by Ethan Kane. Nice big high kick by Ethan Kane, but it's going to be well plucked out of the air by Oliver Regan.
Yeah, it's that man Regan. He's Johnny on the spot. He nearly makes a line break every time he carries back, Regan. He's unbelievable. He's had a big year. I think he come 3rd in the Player of the Year competition at the NRRRL Awards the other night, in behind Dan Willoughby. Very deserved winner, Dan Willoughby, hooker from the Raiders, and of course Hayden Pratt from the Cougars.
And Crossy, I said on the radio, on a radio show on Bay FM this morning, that it was he did have, and you were there on presentation night, he did have a swag, like a good buffer zone, and I think he had an injury or something and only just got home in the end.
Willoughby?
Yes.
Yeah, mate, he led by 8 or 9 points at halfway mark. Like, so he pretty much polled votes every game at the start. You see Crosby into the action here, so they got big numbers left here, the Seagulls. They may even look to run this and find Coleman.
So this is now fifth and last. This is going to be Michael Dwayne. Plays a short side. That's Perry. He'll go himself. Kick across the carpet. And that's going to be just have too much distance. So the Murwillumbah Mustangs once again off the hook. And Ballina, they really want to get that third try and really put some pain on the Mustangs. But hang on, is this going to be a line dropout?
Yeah, so I think it was Bishop batted it over. So they're off the hook for now. But I've got grave concerns for the Mustangs. If they can't repel this Ballina attack, this set of 6, we're looking at a 16 or 18 nil scoreline, and yeah, it could be anything if they score in this set of 6. So I hope for the Mustangs' sake and for the sake of the contest, they can hold the Seagulls out this set.
So good kick there, just by the Mustangs. It's just going to dribble just to the halfway line. So this is going to be now pinned down there first phase on about 35 metres away.
That's a great shot from Howe.
Absolutely. That's Zach Beecher. Sort of just got tripped off there by Caleb Howe in the second phase. So they're now 28 metres away now from the Mustangs line. This Michael Dwayne plays from dummy half. Gets it that's Andrew Brasek. He's looking for a potential line break from one of the people on his right side. That's going to be, Jack Durham goes for a run. Basketball pass into Reece Richards.
Forward pass.
But I think it's going to be, it's another try denied courtesy of a forward pass. In the space of 10 minutes from Ballina, they're banging on the door, Crossy, but I really feel now that they need to start to get that third try just for their confidence, because I think the Mustangs slowly, while they don't have any points on the board, they're slowly just starting to pluck the momentum away from Ballina just slightly.
Well, they're all at sea in their defence, and again, I mentioned it before, they defend structured shape well, but they don't defend that on-the-ball type footy very well. Guys standing in tackles or coming back through the ruck, and it was that man, Jack Durham. He again just showed his class. He come back inside, went through a beautiful left to right sort of cut-out pass, but in this southwesterly wind that we do have blowing, it did seem to float forward, so pretty good decision there, and once again, the Mustangs are out of jail.
So good legs tackle there by Jess Perry on the first phase, just inside 20 metres there for the Mustangs. This is going to be met in the tackle there by Zach Beecher, as well as there's Chad North, and just eventually bringing down. And the Mustangs just on the 20-metre line. This is going to be played there by, I think that's Toby McIntosh. And the Ballina defence is still held well. Mustangs haven't had a lot of ball inside the Ballina's half field, let alone they're in 20 metres. So
Here's Besgrove.
So Besgrove, can he get a line break out of this? Gets it into the hands. That's going into Ethan Kane. Manages to offload it back in, but into the hands there of Cade Hill.
Big numbers left.
This is Joe Besgrove. Gets in the hands of McIntosh, and cut-out pass eventually gets into the hands of Liam Cusack, and he's just going to be pinned down there by Kel Shiva. So they're going to be playing now from one end of the field to the other here. This is going to be Cade Hill. That's going to go Ethan Kane. Kicks that across field. Big high kick there from the Mustangs. And that's gone into the hands of Caleb Hell. He's going to want to look for an offload, but he's going to be pinned down. And Ballina's defence just held well, but that was definitely the Murwillumbah Mustangs' best attacking phase of the game thus far.
It certainly was. It was an offload from Big Remy, the big front rower, the French front rower. Chanced his arm in his own half. It found Besgrove. He then went through and found, I think it was Ethan Kane, and he then in turn found his halves partner in Cade Hill. Really enterprising play, but they've got to back that up. One set's not going to get them back on track here.
So well read in defence there by the Mustangs. This is going to be Chad North to play from dummy half inside 40. And so he'll get that into the hands. That's Jess Perry. He's going to be met there by Dan Turtler. And so Ballina, they're just now on their 40-metre line. This will be their fourth phase of play. There's going to be now Michael Dwayne to play it short side. He'll get it into the hands. That's Hayden Hansen. He's been a very impressive player this season. A good pickup too from the Burleigh Bears at the start of the season. Hayden Hansen, they're 40 metres out. This is going to be now Michael Dwayne. He's going to be looking for a big I thought he was there. I think he was ready. I thought he was right there on his facial expression. He's looking for it to set up his left side, but he's playing on that right side. He's going there again. This is going to be Jamie Lyon. Reads out into Oliver Regan. Just sort of cropped around, cross his chops. Tim Booth says play on. I don't know if that was played up there, so this is going to be through the hands. That's going to be Zach Beecher, and he will make a cameo as he's done throughout the whole final series. It took 3 goes of trying, but Ballina will finally get that third try that they needed, and now it's going to be add injury to insult for the Mustangs at 16-0.
Oh, and they did so well, the Mustangs. They had that great set in attack, and then tackle 5, Jamie Lyon, he chanced his arm. Instead of the kick, he turned back inside to that potency in Oliver Regan, and it was big Remy Vanu. I thought he'd come up with the tackle of the season on Regan. Normally goes straight through, but Regan was good enough to get it away, and then it went to that left edge and went in the hands of Perry. He found Coleman, and then for Coleman, it was just a simple draw and pass out to Sheether, and he had too much pace for the covering defence.
And Crossy Besgrove off. He's come off.
That's I just did notice that, mate. That could be good night nurse for the Mustangs.
And we've still got 10 minutes and change left in the first half.
Well, this was our worry, mate, wasn't it? You know, I spoke during the week around if the Mustangs are any chance Besgrove had to play.
And I think now that I don't want to say if that's Rolling the town, if he's had an arrest, he's looking very ginger. That left, I think it's his left shoulder. I'm not sure. I'm not. If anyone is watching there from Murwillumbah, if anyone knows which shot, like he was limping, like he was dragging that left shoulder down like he was carrying like a 5-kilo bowling ball or a shopping bag out of Woolworths, but he's not looking good, Besgrove. And if he's come off early, then that's not a great sign. And the fact that the scoreboard's even reflected. No,
and that's a really good point. That was the point.
I could see him there, mate. He's looking quite distraught.
Yeah, he's got that sign of resignation that's day done for him. And that comes to my point around why they had to start well. Not only just for their confidence, but when you're playing injured, Dwayne, if you're playing from in front, the adrenaline kicks in. If you're playing from behind, it's very hard to mentally get yourself up.
He's not looking good, is he? So there's Jamie Lyons at the length, but it's just going to go over the right side. And this score now remains Ballina Seagulls 16, Murwillumbah Mustangs in Grand Final 2019. Proudly sponsored by Ladbrokes. Head over to ladbrokes.com.au for all your betting information. Gamble responsibly. Of course, we're proudly sponsored by the Coogin Leagues Club and the Clydesdale Motel in Steakhouse and Casino. So Joe Besgrove, that hasn't been any bad for worse for Murwillumbah Mustangs. And you know, I had concerns about him during the week, Crossy. The fact that he came off in the first 5-10 minutes last week, and yeah, you got to feel for Joe Besgrove. He's such an influential player, and I believe he was probably the player to get, if Murwillumbah were to get on with things here, he was going to be the man to do it. He was playing so well in the first 20.
Oh, and he's a New South Wales country hooker, you know.
And
so
the captain. He captained
the captain.
Year.
So, I mean, goes to show the quality of the player that he is. But unfortunately now for the Mustangs, they've really got to find something. This is when, you know, I'm just looking down at their bench there. They've got blokes like Damien Quinn in the yellow shirt running the water. I mean, geez, what they wouldn't give for a bloke like Quinny to be out there right now just to steady the ship. But that's not to be. So it's got to be someone else here. It's got to be blokes like Howell, and Big Dan Turtland's having a dig, isn't he, as we go in on Anderson.
So nice big hit there by Remy Vanu. And so, well, Murwillumbah, they can very much afford to let one in at this portion. Another one before half-time. It's already got bad to worse from with Besgrove coming off the field. And now, as I made mention, that was my concern. So as we can see, I think that's Kel Shiva. He's just going to be pinned down there. That's going to be 35 metres away from the Mustangs line. So this is going to be Michael Dwayne. He's setting up for a big left side play with Jamie Lyon. He's had a kick across literally 3 or 4 faces of the Ballina Seagulls. He's pumped that one back into Ethan Kane. And Jess Perry was thinking about a 1-1 strip. He just didn't have the go gadget arms to try and get his hand in there Crossing.
Yeah, I thought he had it there for a minute there, Jess Perry. But good run from Bishop, and the Seagulls, they're just toying with them now. They're sort of going catch pass out on that right edge, and the Mustangs defence is all at sea. So
this will be Sam O'Day. He did the job for him last week in reply, and then we can see a penalty given there by the Mustangs. So Sam O'Day, he did do the job but Joe Besgrove in his absence for the 75 minutes of last week, but he's going to have big shoes to fill for in his absence here today. So this is going to be Scott Nichols. He's now brought onto the field. He's going to be playing the first phase here. This will be Sam O'Day now to play from dummy half. He'll play in the hands of Remy Vanu, and he's going to be met there in the tackle. He manages to get the offload, and so that's going to be playing on the right side. So Mustangs a must now. They must score next now to at least take some momentum into the second half and still have a fighting chance to try and grip this one from Ballina. But this has probably been their best chance of the game thus far. This is going to be Sam O'Day that's gone into their hands. That's Cade Hill. That's going to be Toby McIntosh. He's scored plenty in the final series this year. He's probably been one of the, along with the likes of Cade Hill, one of the standout players for the Mustangs in this year's final series. They're going for a dummy half run. It looks so close. He was very close. So this is now 5th and last. Big pass inside. Backwards, that's going to be Ethan Kane, kicks that across field. So this will be a matter who can pluck it out of the air. Well picked up by Jack. I think that's Jack Bishop. He was missing from last week, and what a way to come back onto the field this week. And Nice AFL-like catching skills there from Jack Bishop. They might not be done yet, the Mustangs crossing. It's now 16-4.
There he is, Jack Bishop. He had that really good haircut there a couple of weeks ago. It's sort of grown out a little
Now,
bit.
is that why he had the week off last week? Did he have a haircut last week?
Possibly, but gee, he's a good player, Jack Bishop. And talking to a few of the guys, the Mustangs guys for the game, he was a big in for them today. They know the potency that he can bring on that right edge. But before he caught that ball there, Dwayne, just want to give some praise to the work of the halves there. The ball went to Cade Hill, the young 18-year-old. I don't know if the viewers at home can see, but it's super windy out there. He threw this beautiful left to right cutout pass, found his right-hand halves partner in Ethan Kane, and Kane absolutely put that on the spot for Bishop. Chad North was just posted out there like the postman, and he just had nowhere to go, had no momentum. And for your life, you could see that Bishop was going to climb high and get the ball, and that's exactly what he did.
So Jack Bishop, that's his 19th try for the campaign. He already featured on the scoring sheet once in the final series against Casino in week 1 of the final. So this will be Caleb how they add the extras. So a little bit of momentum to take into to half time here. So that's Caleb Bell, kicks across the face, goes over, and Dale makes the score. Ballina 16, Mustang 6. So I think Crossy, even at this portion of the game, Ballina cannot put the cue in the rack.
No, and the Mustangs have showed they haven't been in this game. They have not been in this game of football here this afternoon, but somehow they've conjured up a try. They've had no opportunities in good ball. The one time they did was that set of 6 just then, and they've come away with 6 points. So let's hope, as I said earlier, for them and for the sake of the contest, that they can sort of replicate what we've just seen now.
So this will be Jamie Lyon to restart things here. So we're about, as you can see there on the clock, we haven't had time for stoppages, so there's going to be at least 4. So we've got about 5 minutes and change left here in the first half of Grand Final 19. And so Mustangs, will that get their momentum up just enough? Because as we made mention, Crossy, like they were pretty much down and out. Well, despite only being 10 points down at any time of the game, they did not score their first try until the 55th, 60th minute. And so they might just be able to find their grooves and this could be, and I don't want to say this too soon, but this could be an exact role reversal, Bizarro World, Seinfeld Bizarro World kind of thing, where the Mustangs might be playing a bit of a Ballina and let them play themselves out. Or could it be?
Well, who knows? And you never know. And you can see what a bit of confidence does. Here's Turtland again. He's had a huge first half. But you can see already that's tackle 5, and that's their best setting yardage. They've gone 60 metres.
So they go short side. That's Cade Hill that kicks it into a corner, and he's got the Ballina. Well, Reece Richards managed to get it eventually, but he just caught him napping. And it just took every bit of skill there from Reece Richards to pluck that one out. So this is going to be now played second phase. And they're about 20 metres away from their own line, the Ballina Seagulls. So Michael Dwayne plays it. That's gone into, that's Chad North. He's brought down there by Wade Riley, as well as Dan Turtland. Those two have always been looking for work in defence. This is going to be now met in the third phase. Brought down there, well tackled there by Sam O'Day. And he knows that he's got big responsibility on his shoulders now, replacing Joe Besgrove, who is now out injured. He was carrying a shoulder injury into this, and so I think more or less his day is done. And I think he's also been selected for country under 23s once again, crossing to New Zealand. So I'm hoping it's something that can be fixed before next month. So Toby McIntosh bats that one in well. Toby McIntosh. Oh, I was just about to say.
The ball was already out, so this can't be. This has got to be a Mustangs feed.
Well, we'll just see what Tim Booth has called here. He's looking. So this, scrum feed there to the Mustangs. So, but Toby McIntosh, he thought he had done some Justin Hodges-like athletics, and I remember Justin Hodges doing that back in 2008-9, but not to be. But nevertheless, I'll have the ball back 20 out from their own line.
Yeah, he just lost his bearings there, McIntosh. He was trying to sort of inspire his team there with the play, but he was already out when he batted it back. So, but that's okay. I'm pleased with what I'm seeing here from the Mustangs. That last setting yardage, as I mentioned, a couple of guys standing and offloading in tackles, few passes starting to stick. So they've just really got to sort of hang in here and play a bit of end-to-end footy with Ballina, because their turn will come.
So that was McIntosh on the first hit up, brought down there by Jamie Lyon. So this is Mustangs here. That's Adam Walker goes for a gallop, and there's been a hit that he's knocked it forward. So Michael Dwayne has plucked that one out of nothing. And this is now going to be Phil Crosby takes it. He takes it there 20 metres away from the Mustangs line. This is now going to be Jess Perry to play from dummy half on the second phase. He gets it into the hands of Michael Dwayne, and he just slowly brings that one up into the grips there of Remy Vanu as well as Dan Turtland. This is going to be Jess Perry to play it now from dummy half. He passes there, short side, gets in the hands of Jamie Lyon. Lyon into the hands, that's Durham. That's into Reece Riches. He's featured on the try scoring sheet throughout season 2019 as well as this final series. This is now going to be Jamie Lyon, brings it back inside field, and has brought it into, I think that's Kel Shiva. That's going to be Jamie Lyon, plays from dummy half, goes for a little dummy pass. Has he got himself a double? I think Jamie Lyon has got that one down and earned himself a captain's knock by adding a deuce to extend this lead even further for the Ballina Seagulls. We just thought Mustangs had some life in the last couple of minutes into the first half, but as quick as it's been extinguished by none other than Jamie Lyon, they are making the score 20-6.
Well, there he is, the old bloke. He's leading the way. 2 tries in the first half of the grand final. It's been a bit of a homecoming for him this year, Jamie Lyon, and he's had a great season. Hasn't missed one game this year. A lot of people doubted if he'd be able to do that. He'd come back and be able to play well. Hasn't got the speed that he used to possess. However, he's very smart between the ears still. And tackle 5, most people expecting a kick. Jamie Lyon, he just went the short side, ducked over from dummy half, and big blow before halftime.
And Crossy, not bad for someone that just spent their off-season on the golf course just up the road here. So, and that came from none other than you're my offsider on the weekends, but that came from my offsider during the week from Wayne Ansby. And I want to send a shout out to Wayne because he would have been over there, right there on Yobbo's Hill, but he just got a late call up for knee surgery and have a new knee replaced last Tuesday. So he'll be there watching this stream. And mate, hope you got, well, I won't say beer in hand because he'll be on the endo after having surgery 5 days ago, but that was some valuable info from him, knowing that Jamie Lyon spent on the golf course.
He loves his time on the golf course, Killer, although he hasn't been playing as much of late, focusing all his energies here on this great Seagulls clubs that they're building around him as we see him move in.
So Lyon got the lamp, and it's got, just shy of the left-hand post, so now makes Ballina 20 over Mustangs 6, so they're just over a 2-scoring lead there. So Mustangs, they were slowly but surely getting themselves back in that game, but the Seagulls have just broken that momentum, and now they'll have the momentum. And I think for me, Crossy, 14 points is no by away, like a defendable lead for the Seagulls, but I just think at least Mustangs need to have some momentum if they're going to take this, but we'll see what happens.
Here we go with the short kickoff.
Oh, so that was knocked forward by Zach. I thought that was a hint of a knock on there from Beecher there, Crossy.
Yeah, knock on, and we're pretty much out of time here, so they'll have to get busy, the Mustangs. They might have one set to be at the most.
And to show that they're packing down for a scrum like it's a 79 minutes and 50 seconds, they're not going to get it. Just shows how desperate they were, knowing how valuable where they were in the field. So you normally see that in the 79th minute, not the 39th and 59th second mark. And I just think that shows of desperation for the Mustangs. And whilst they were looking a little bit promising the last 10 minutes, I just think Ballina have got one hand on getting that shield back home.
Well, they do. I mean, it's theirs to lose now, isn't it? I mean, they've just got to go on with things in the second half and play smart. And I think, unfortunately, if you're a Mustang supporter, you look across to the Seagulls and there's a bloke out there wearing number 6 called Jamie Lyon, and if anyone's going to game manage, the back end of this match, it's him. So expect him to sort of kick into corners and play field position and keep turning this big Mustangs forward pack around in their second half. It'll be hard, but as we have seen, the Mustangs can score points and they can do it quickly.
They were literally at nil with 20 minutes ago against Casino, but they faced, all credit to Casino, they're facing a much sterner test today. So there it is. That's halftime in the books here for the 2019 A-grade Grand Final in the NRRRL, proudly sponsored by Ladbrokes. Head over to ladbrokes.com.au for all your betting information. Gamble responsibly. It's halftime here at Kingford Park. Ballina Seagulls 20, Murwillumbah Mustangs 6. Now a word from our other 2 sponsors. The Coogin League Club, widely recognised for its local community and sporting team support, is a great place to catch up and meet with friends, to host your next function, to enjoy quality competitive price meals, or to simply relax. The club offers superb views in the main function area, making it perfect spot for weddings, birthday parties, anniversaries, or just watching the football on game day. With full freely stocked bars, a beer garden, and 2 of the best bowling greens in the district. Hornets, Bistro, and 3 function rooms capable of catering from 15 to 400 people. Located meters from quality rugby league, the team there is ready to create an experience you won't easily forget. The Clydesdale Motel and Steakhouse is located on 5 acres on the edge of Casino and provides quality accommodation whilst enjoying the quiet and peaceful surroundings with extensive on-site parking. The steakhouse can seat up to 250 people and is ideal venue for all your functions, from birthdays, weddings to Christmas parties. For further information, give Stuart and Marge George a call to discuss your requirements for your function.
Before you go home, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon and this evening, please put the rubbish in the bin. And abuse of mental systems will not be tolerated. The clubhouse is open for members. The disco inside the clubhouse is also open for hot meals. The main canteen is still open. Max Baker, if you can hear me, Max Baker. Max Baker, if you can hear me, can you come to the broadcast area, please? Max Baker, if you can hear me, come to the broadcast area, please. Tibbet, can you hear me? Wayne Tibbet? off the field, please. Boys, off the park, outside the fence. Anyone that's not a player or an official that's inside the fence, please move outside so we can start the second half.
Dwayne Neville back with Nathan Cross here for Grand Final 19. As you can see on the Ladbrokes scoreboard, Ballina, they're not having it all their own way, but they're doing the job at 20-6 as we're about to get ready for the second half. Crossy, the one thing I noticed is the teams were coming on the fields. We get underway for the second half now. I noticed at the end there, as I made mention, that the Mustangs, they're trying to pack down that fast scrum feed. Just to double down on what I was just saying, you look at the body reaction when Ballina ran onto the field, like at least a couple of minutes before the Mustangs even did. So Ballina are hungry. They're really not going to look like they can click in the next gear. Yeah, well, that could be true, but it also could be a combination of Ballina know exactly what they need to do from here, and on the flip side, the Mustangs might have been getting some last-minute instructions from Coach Nathan Jordan. At the risk of sort of stating the obvious, I mean, Mustangs have to score first. They've got to be the next to score if they're any chance here this afternoon. So this is going to be Dale taken up there by, that was Liam Anderson. He's going to be pinned down there. So he's fifth and last. So Ballina, they're playing this one from Mustangs 40. Big high kick from Jamie Lyon. That's got some absolute spiral to it. And well plucked out there. That's Toby McIntosh. He's going to be pinned down there by Kel Sheba, about 20 or 15 metres away from the Mustangs line. That's gone into the hands of Cusack. So they're now playing him from the centre of the field and bringing it further in. So this is going to be played now. I think this is Jack Bishop now playing from dummy half. So they're looking for some quick yardage, early there, Crossy, by the looks of it. And look at Bishop. I mean, he just makes 10, 15 yards every time. They need that from him and from Cusack, and then get their big forwards to play off the back of that. So it's going to be held down there. I think that was Rob Shepherd there getting involved there. So this is going to be now played. I think this is the fourth phase now. This is Dan Turtland. He's going to be brought down there by his opposite number there, Jack Durham. And so it's 45 metres out now, so from the Ballina Seagulls line. So that's Sam O'Day plays it. That's going to be kicked up there by Kate Hill. That's a nice big spiraling kick. There's going to be chases from either end. And Oliver Regan well plucked out there. Normally safe as a house there, Oliver Regan. Yeah, that's Westpac Bank out there. Just absolutely safe as a bank, Ollie Regan. He's, mate, you won't see too many times where he doesn't get to the ball on the full Regan. Probably only time is if it goes to one of his wingmen. But and here he is having a carry straight away. So that's well taken there, and the tackle there by the Mustangs. They're at least going to try and slow this play down so Ballina don't have it all there in way. This is Jamie Lyon plays it from dummy half. And he's going to... Oh, so he was just rolling the tackle there. And Tim Booth has acknowledged it. Well, that was a bit of a shame there for the Mustangs. It kind of just got away on them. That tackle went a little bit astray. I think it was Nichols that was underneath. There wasn't really any malice in that, but referee Tim Booth had no alternative but to rule a penalty on that occasion. So we're going to see Jamie Lyon have a kick for touch here, probably find it about 40 metres out, and Mustangs need to be on red alert here. So this is now going to be played here, but that's Kel Sheever. That's gone in the hands of Jamie Lyon. That's going to be held down there just about 20 minutes. So as you made mention, Crossy, if Ballina score here, then that's going to be Mustangs' third time of trying, third time unlucky. And they really wanted to try and do what Ballina did and win their first major from second position, because they've won two, but they've won it from, that came out of their 7 minor premierships they won in previous years. So this is, no, that's a splitting line break there from Anthony Coleman. He thought about passing it, but he's going to go himself. He's going to have enough momentum to get over, I think. Yes, he has, Anthony Coleman. He's also one of those usual suspects to get over the try score, to get over the score. That's now looking like it's going to be game over, and still about 35 minutes to go. 28-6 to the Seagulls. Oh, what a run, Anthony Coleman. That was outstanding. Just showed his class there, Coleman. He's such a strong carrier of the football. Most people underestimate how fast he actually is and how strong he is. He's quite a big man. He's sort of deceiving, and he's got a great moustache. I pointed out to him before the match, I thought his mo was just in real good order for this big day here this afternoon. So well done to Coleman. He's had a huge year, Anthony Coleman, one of the best players in this competition. And the Mustangs, they just, we said when that penalty kicked, they had to be on red alert. They went to their left edge, and what the problem is, Dwayne, what happens is they go to that line, and they got Regan out the back. They've been playing Regan early ball all the first half. So the defenders obviously have let Coleman go, thinking the ball's going to Regan, and they play Coleman on that lead line, and he was just too big, strong and fast, and he went over from about 40 metres. So trust you joined the coverage round. We're watching. One of the viewers there has just told us to keep it down. He mustn't know that we've got the Ballina Seagulls Leagues Club with loyal supporter members over her right shoulder.
Yeah, I do apologise. It's very hard to hear. We've got the whole Ballina Leagues Club right behind us, so we do apologise.
So this is going to be now Jamie Lyon to add the extra. So this is going to stretch us out to 20 points.
And this is the potency of this Ballina team, Nev. You've got Coleman on the left, really good run of the football, as we see Lyon.
Nice long kick, and that was easy as you like for Jamie Lyon, and now they're really getting on with business to reclaim that premiership that eluded them 12 months ago, 26-6.
Yeah, and then we've got Jack Durham on the right, who can use the ball early, as I said, pre-line or post-line and kick. And then through the middle, we've got their lock forward, Hayden Hanson, who's just an absolute weapon. He's just strong, he can stand in tackles, and a really strong wrestler as well. So they've got probably the best back row in the competition here, the Seagulls, as well as a bloke who's played a couple of first-grade games in Jamie Lyon.
So this will be taken up there cleanly there by Oliver Regan. He's going to be now bringing it out 20 metres away from the Ballina line. This is now Jess Perry to play it into the hands of that Zach Beecher. And good tackle. I spoke a little bit too soon there. I thought that Ethan Kane had him wrapped up. But
we've got an error here from Beecher.
Okay, so the Mustangs, they'll now have a scrum. In all fairness to the Mustangs, they haven't really had many opportunities inside the opposition half of the field. A lot of their plays, and this is to Ballina's credit here, a lot of the players have started inside the Mustangs. They were really pinned down in their own 20 metres the whole time.
Yeah, they need to make a real go of this set of 6. I mean, here we are, we're 26-6, and we're only 5 or 6 minutes into this second half. So it's certainly not beyond them, given that the way they can score points quickly. However, they'll need to get going.
So this is going to be played in. So they're really looking to get a bit of desperate play now. Might even pay dividends here on the first phase. So here we go. So they might actually get something off there. Jack Bishop, I think he's got himself a double, providing he's got that one down.
I thought he bounced it.
We'll just wait there and see what Tim Booth has said. And I was just about to say, desperate times, desperate measures, and well, how about that? Jack Bishop adds the extras. But I just was about to say, it just all happened too quickly there, Crossy. I thought that Cade Hill just, desperate time, desperate measures, go for it in the first phase. But hey, to his credit, it's paid dividends.
Oh, well done to him, because, I mean, they live and die by the sword. He'll put the kick in on tackle 1. It sat up beautifully for McIntosh. He was good enough to get an offload to Bishop, and I actually thought Bishop had blown it. I think he had Cusack sort of unmarked, but he backed his own speed, which he's got in abundance. And I'll be honest, Nev, I thought he might have bounced that ball, but there's an in-goal touch judge right on the spot, so it must have been okay.
And Crossy, I'm just looking here in back play, like Jack Bishop, you could see that left knee. Well, explains why, and it wasn't for that haircut, or in fairness, I guess it was. In all seriousness, it was his left knees looking strapped, and he's looking like he's hobbling on that a bit. So I think he might have just re-injured that as he was slamming that ball down to the turf.
He looked ginger, didn't he? Sort of reeled out of that once he scored that try. And what a difference he's made here today. I mean, if he doesn't play today, they don't have that sort of efforts in yardage and getting out of trouble as they have done through his great carries. And obviously his try-scoring prowess, as you've mentioned all year. So Caleb Howe's got a big kick here.
So Caleb Howe, what a captain's kick there from Caleb Howe. He had the distance and then just went over the black dots and now makes the score 26-14.
Yeah,
sorry, is it 26-12 or 14?
26-12.
Yeah.
Now, you and I saw Howe do that in the semi-final here, right in front of us. 2 kicks from the sideline into a stiff breeze. He's just done it again. He's just kicked that from the sideline. He's a real sharpshooter, Howe.
So now it begs the question, can the Mustangs, 14 points down, and as I made mention 5 minutes ago, still plenty of time, but Ballina, as we see, Mustangs, they really need to keep this going, in all fairness, for the next 30 minutes.
Well, they do, and they don't need to look at the scoreline. What the Mustangs need to do is just to break this game down into time now. So they've basically got the next job they've got to do is basically complete this set of 6, kick into a corner or fine touch, job done. They can't be thinking about 14 points. They've got to be thinking about breaking this second half down.
So this is going to be taken up here in the first phase. Reece Richards does his job there, keeping it 10 inside field, 20 out there from the Mustangs line. This is going to be played by, big tackle there. That was Phil Crosby. Nicholas Ritter, he's been very busy in defence today. Nicholas Ritter, there's Dan Turtland. He gets all engines pumping, gets those fires pumping into the turf. and he's met there by Michael Dwayne. He's playing a little dummy half play here in the fourth phase. It's going to be Remy Venu. He offloads. He manages to do a little hint. That's
he's got a forward
Sam
pass.
O'Day. So, well, yeah, so basically for me, Crossy, I think that well, you're right. I mean, as you're saying, then they just need to at least get to a kick and basically hope for Ballina to knock on their own half, because a lot of their all their luck comes from starting from Ballina's half of the field.
Mate, it does, and you look at where they were when they come up with that forward pass. It was on their 40. It was only tackle 3. It just shows off the back of a try the confidence that goes into this Mustangs team. They're such a confidence team. All of a sudden now they're doing a bit of pre-line passing. They're standing in tackles. They look good. However, that just hasn't gone for them. So now they've got to turn attack into defence and really make sure they get things right.
So Chad North plays at first, Michael Dwayne plays short side. That gets in the hands of Jack Durham, and he's going to be brought down there by his opposite number, Dan Turtland. So Ballina, they're just so close to claiming that shield back after it eluded them last year. They would have gone back-to-back on that occasion. So that's Jamie Lyon. Big pass into Jess Perry in the hands of Regan. Regan, always, you normally bet on him making a line break out of there, but it takes the likes of Caleb Howe in defence to hold him back. This is Philip Crosby. Into the hands of Nicholas Ritter. Offloads into the hands of Lyon. Meant for Hayden Hanson, but they'll fall in the hands of Jack Durham. He'll go for a run. He's going to kick into the corner, and it's just going to have too much power on it, and it's going to now be a set of 6 coming with the Mustangs 10 out.
Yeah, showed his class there, Durham. Nothing doing, so he just thought he'd roll one into touch. But, yeah, really good defence out there from the Mustangs on that right edge. It was a great tackle from Caleb Howell on Ollie Regan. They like to slide the Mustangs line, and actually Howell turned in on his man. Regan wasn't his man, but he thought he better come in and shut it down, and he did a great job and repelled some of that really good Ballina attack that we've seen here this afternoon.
So this is now played about 5 metres away from the Mustangs line. Caleb Howell be looking for a big, he's just going to be held there. He just kicks that one back into the hands of, I think, Sam O'Day. He's met there by Hayden Hanson, and he's going to be brought down there as well as the likes of Anthony Coleman. They play the shots on the Mustangs. There's a Remy Venu. He will get the metres. He'll get it about 30 metres around, fight the 10 inside field from the Mustangs line. They're appealing for a penalty, but I just think he's just getting back onto his feet. So this is going to be met in the tackle there by Hayden Hanson. Good legs tackle also by Michael Dwayne. And so this is now 4th phase of play, 40 out from the Mustangs line. They'll get from the hands of Hill. That's Turtland. He's going to be met there across by Jack Durham. And this will be now 5th and last. Ballina have done well to keep Mustangs inside 40. Kate Hill, big kick. It's going to have to be well read in defence there by Oliver Regan. And he'll go for a gallop. Marches up about 20 metres on the fly. And I think he copped a little bit of a knee there from Remy Venu. So this will be now Chad North to play from dummy half. Gets it in the hands of, that's Jack Beecher. And he's going to be pinned down there 40 out in the 3rd phase there, Crossy.
Yeah, Kate Hill, he'd liked his time again there. It wasn't a great kick, found Regan on the full, but it was good inside pressure, I think, kick pressure from Jack Durham. So now you can see the difference that makes there, Nev. You know, basically catching on the full and now being on halfway as opposed to trying to get out of your own 10 or 20 metre line.
So this is Jamie Lyon. He'll go for a run. Will he get a triple today, Jamie Lyon? And like, what a way for him to bring back to save it for the best effort to last. So this is now going to be Michael Dwayne. He marches up, does well to get about 15 metres on the bounce. This is 5th and last. I think the Mustangs there, they're a little bit 6th and 7th in defence. That's Jess Perry, gets it in the hands. That's Anthony Coleman. That's going to be Zach Beecher. Zach Beecher gets a double. And now that's going to be now party time for the Ballina Seagulls. And what a way to bring a double in the corner to make it 30-12.
Oh, that was all too easy, wasn't it? And put that down to the work that the Seagulls are doing through the middle third, but also on their right edge. They've got Jamie Lyon and Jack Durham on this right edge, and they're such good footballers. With their skill that they possess, they drag in so many of the Mustangs defenders, which means they're going to be short, the Mustangs, on their right edge and Ballina's left edge, and that showed. So when the Seagulls put a couple of nice long passes together, it ended up on that left edge, and Beecher, he had it all his own way there. He had a 30-metre run to the line and no one in sight, and he found his way over, and that's a moment he won't forget for a long time.
Crossy, I've said this time and time again, covering all the Ballina games that we have done here on Mark Off Media, and it's going to be one of those days today for Ballina. When you look at stats like this, they've only failed to score less than 20 only once this year. All their wins have come when they scored at least 22 or more. Both losses were when they scored 22 or less, and one of them was against Murwillumbah. Last 12 out of 14, they scored 30 points or more, including 7 of the last 8, so that's going to still hold true going into next year. They've only conceded 12 or less than 10 times, and one of those was to nil. Whilst it's at 10 at 12 at the moment, that might not hold true. So, and as I may mention at the start there before we had kickoff here, Crossy, anytime that Murwillumbah have won a grand finals by 2 points or less, and yeah, I just think it's now, you know, they've tried hard. They had to work hard last week, but I just think they ran out of petrol already. As Jamie Lyon kicks that one over, now making the score 32-12.
Yeah, unfortunately, when they lost Bestgrove, I think they kissed goodbye the 2019 Premiership. The Mustangs, unfortunately, they came in, as you and I said at the top, they came in fairly battered and bruised, and they come in without the Crompton boys, which were massive losses for their go forward and their strike. And as it reads right now, we've got 32-12, and unfortunately for the Mustangs fans, I think that may not be the end scoreline. And
when you go back to season 2013, Ballina have not lost a finals game against Murwillumbah out of 5 times of trying, and by the looks of it, it's going to be 6 in a row, including 3 of those being grand finals. So that's going to be now the Ballina Seagulls to now have it 15 away from their own line. There's Michael Dwayne's appealing for a penalty, and that will get into the hands. I think that's Ray Buchanan. Hasn't he done a job in the final series, and now he's been playing off the bench today.
Yeah, coming in, he was playing right centre outside Jamie Lyon there in the major semi. He had his issues. He didn't read defence great a couple of times there, and they put Sheether there, as we see Dwayne have a good run, but coming off the bench here and making an impact.
So Michael Dwayne offloads, gets in the hands of Jack Durham. He's made, along the likes of Michael Dwayne, he's probably been up there on the line breaks for both teams today. So this is Michael Dwayne playing short side to Jess Perry.
Numbers again.
So this is going to be now Anthony Coleman. Can he get a double in just as many minutes? But he's just going to be blindsided there by Toby McIntosh. And so he'll get up and play it. It's going to be Michael Dwayne. He'll have Perry on his right. That goes into Perry, into Line. Line, he'll look for a long field kick. Cross the face, and that's going to be well read in there by likes of, that's Liam Cusack, and good legs, tackle and defence by Jack Durham.
Well, Dwayne, I thought you and I were going to see what we saw in one of the earlier rounds there, where Cusack sort of took it on his own 10 or 20.
That was against the Tweed Coast.
That was against the Raiders, and he ran 80-90 metres, but on that occasion, it was that man, Jack Durham, playing his first senior rugby league grand final today. The young man, he come across this year from Morris Brothers. The Durham family's renowned with the Morris Brothers Rams, but he saw an opportunity to come to the Seagulls, and he has been outstanding for them this season.
So this is going to be now played. That's Caleb Howe. He manages to offload a bit. Oh, geez, that was... Jack, I think if that was Jack Bishop has... What's happened here? So there was the knock on, but I think Jack Bishop just got trampled on.
Yeah, well, Howe sort of went for that sort of Gidley type flick out there, and I think it was, Bishop that couldn't come up with the catch. Then there was a little bit of afters. So that'll be a Ballina scrum feed right on halfway, and you just feel, Dwayne, that there could be some more points coming.
So as we want to thank Ladbrokes for getting on board at the NRRRL season as a major sponsor, as well as Mark Goff Media for the live stream. And of course, as May mentioned, Coogin Leaf Club and Clydesdale Motel Steakhouse and Casino for being board. And hopefully we'll have them on board for next year as well. What a season of NRRRL we had this year as we head into the final quarter here, Crosby.
Oh, it's been a great year. And what about the additions of Todd Carney for Byron Bay and Jamie Lyon here for the Ballina Seagulls? I mean, just the interest that it's generated. You know, you and I called both games Byron Ballina this year. Both of those round games, they were like semi-finals as far as crowds go, weren't they?
It was like similar intensity what it was today when they played the first one here in Ballina. So it was just, and hopefully this just plateaus into next year. Like, well, as Mickey was saying, the reserve grade,
he's Ritter.
Sorry, that's just going to be spilt there by Ray Buchanan. So he made mention that, and you would know this, but having connection with the Gold Coast Titans, that Michael Gordon will be playing for the Tweed Coast Raiders next year.
Yeah, well, that's right. Mickey's going to definitely play with the Raiders next year, and that was always part of his planning when he retired. He'd finish at the Raiders, so we're looking at a situation next year that, hopefully, Killers goes around again, and Carney's at Byron again. Possibly definitely Mickey Gordon at the Raiders, and then I sort of won't mention names now, but there is a couple of ex-NRL players talking about coming into this competition at some certain clubs as well. So fantastic for country footy, and you can just see, and with things like we're doing here, mate, with Mark Goff Media, what a great job Goffy's done in getting the live stream going and just generating some interest in the competition. It's only onwards and upwards here for country footy.
And he doesn't put a bad spread on either.
It's been a good day, mate, here, hasn't it? Bit of Subway and a few little beverages.
He's a good man, Gob. We can't thank him enough. And the NRRRL for getting this on board. So we've still got 20 minutes left in this one here for season 2019. And we'll have the scrum feed going down in just a little bit. So this will be Kay Hill to play it. 10 metres out from the Mustangs line. So we're just looking at like try scorers here, Crossy. So Ballina coming in this one, they've had 115 total tries. So the Murwillumbah's 106. And I mentioned this time and time again during the final series that 43 of those came from both Liam Cusack and Jack Bishop. Jack Bishop's done what he's had to do, but I think Liam Cusack, he's had a quiet final series. Well, with the exception of that first game, of course.
Yeah, he possibly has, compared to what he did during the season. But he's had a great year. I think he may even have a little bit of interest in sort of, clubs, NRL and Queensland Cup clubs.
Absolutely,
he's sniffing around with Cusack.
And I did say, and I said this on radio this morning. I think I think I might have even mentioned this in the first half, that Liam Cusack, if he would have to get potentially even tries 26 and 27 to his tally if Mustangs were going to get the job done today.
Yeah, it's a big number, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. And he may still well do that, although I think a 32-12. Look, it's not out of the question, but it's highly unlikely. I would have thought.
We're now talking quarter-minute territory now, so that's going to be played up here. But good legs tackle. That might have. I thought for me that was a little bit past the horizontal, and now there's going to be afters. This might just kick off here, Crossy.
Well, I'll tell you what. Keelan Biltoff came off the back fence. It was such a strong carry, but equally, I think it was Ray Buchanan that went down low, and he absolutely cut him in half.
Jamie.
May have been Durham over the top, I don't know, but it was Buchanan down below. It was a great copybook tackle.
Okay, so we can't actually hear the ref, but I think you might be hearing the live stream, so we're just going to mute this down for the next little bit.
Yeah, look, I know it's accidental. We put him in a dangerous position. We're going to put on report. Here.
So that was obviously always going to be a penalty for the Mustangs, Crossy. So that's going to be the judiciary going to now have to work into the off-season.
Yeah, so Buchanan might look at missing a game early next year, but he won't be one bit worried about that right now. They've got a premiership to win for the next 20 minutes.
So this is going to be taken up there, just about 5 metres away from the Ballina line. This is now going to be played by, that's gone into Remy Vanu. He's doing a little hit and spin. Now, something's going to have to come off this player. It's now officially point a minute now stuff for the Mustangs if they're going to pull this one out of the fire. And this is Cade Hill. Who else but Cade Hill to look to get the job done? He's probably, for me, if Mustangs don't get the win, he's probably been the player of the final series, at least for me, Crossy.
He's been impressive, especially never easy for a young man to come into a senior rugby league team and have the impact that he has. And congratulations to him on the semi-final series he's had.
So they look at dangerous. They'll get this one under the post. And that's Nick Walker. There's just ever so, even if it's a slight life, into the Murwillumbah Mustangs grand final campaign. But they'll get this one back rolling at 32-16.
That was nice footy. It was a nice ball there from Sammy O'Day, the veteran. Been a really good player for a long time, Sammy. And I think it might have been, I'm just trying to see who made the tip on. It was either one of their big front rowers in Vandersher or Remy Vanu. It was silky bit of skill. It was an early catch just with a little flick on there, and the try scorer sort of went over adjacent to the post. Howell will knock this over and bridge the gap. Still, it's still a long way to go in this game as far as time goes, but we do have a fairly big points differential. So the Mustangs, they can only do what they've done, and that's score 6 points.
Caleb Howell sends that one over there and making the score. Ballina Seagulls 32. Murwillumbah Mustangs here from Grand Final 19 here at Kingford Smith Park in Ballina. Nick Walker, that was his third try for the campaign, scoring previously against Evans Head and Mullumbimby. So Crossy, I made mention at the start here. So as you see there, Yobbo's Hill. And I made mention, and I said this to you about 2 weeks ago, this is just as much a landmark in NRRRL finals as I then say the Big Prawn.
It is. It's you might as well put it in your calendar every year. This day around that sort of, this time in September. But
and what I do like, Crossy, that obviously when you look at the other codes around here, it looks like we'll just use an example, the Byron Bay Rams. I think I got a message from one of my mates here. They were about to go and play another grand final. I don't know what the score. I think it was 3-1. But finishing minor premiers, they always have to dart down Lismore no matter what. And same deal as the rugby with the Wollongbar Pioneers. And so it's all. I like the idea that you should be rewarded, where you are in the ladder to host it, as opposed to going to, the capital city of the Northern Rivers in Lismore.
Yeah, well, that's right. And you see that on the Gold Coast. The grand final every year is at Pizzey Park in Burleigh, no matter where sort of the Bears finish, although this year...
I don't know what the score is in that one, but they were playing today as well.
Yeah, they'll be they'll be odds on Burley to sort of have a win there against Currumbin and go straight through, I would have thought, but stranger things have happened.
Well, I mean, Southport Tigers, when I called that one yesterday against the Chugan Seahawks, and that, I mean, when you think that they came close to 40 points, you wouldn't have believed it after the first 20 minutes, so they'll go and play the Luke. So that's going to be called a penalty against the Seagulls. So, okay, 14 points, and we're about 16 left. So
I'll tell you what, mate, if the Mustangs could sort of sneak a try here and get that margin back to 8, wouldn't that make for a fantastic sort of 15 minutes?
Absolutely, and mathematically, and I don't mean to sound like a broken record on this, but the game of the season back in round 4 when Northern United and Kyogle, we don't need to mention you guys, but we know what bronze statue, Shannon Walker, I even mentioned it yesterday up at Southport, but I mean, what was it, 16 points, 14 points in 5 minutes? Can be done.
You and Shorey called that one. I missed that one. I did watch it, and it was fantastic. What a couple of blokes tangled up here, so we've got time off. What's actually happened here?
So that's Remy Venue. Now, hang on. This doesn't.
The Seagulls player might be knocked out here. He's not moved.
He's not moved. That's okay. That's Ray Buchanan. So that's a number 16.
Yeah, he's not
Sorry,
well.
not Ray Buchanan.
Yeah,
it is Ray Buchanan.
That's Buchanan. He doesn't look well at all.
Oh, jeez. He hasn't moved. Oh dear.
Oh no.
His hair, I can see
pain. Trying to grab for the hip there. I think that's. I hope he's not talking a dislocated hip or something. That would be horrible.
This could almost. So he is moving. That's encouraging. His legs are moving. That's what the one thing we want to see is the legs are moving, and he's going to roll into his back. So at least that's good signs that he's in the good hands there of Scotty Redford. So.
Yeah, exactly. Scotty's out there. He's in really good hands. I think that might even be Spike Coleman out there with him. So, geez, you don't get
that's good to see. He's
better pair of hands than those two. But you just knew it must have been bad, by the way. The big Remy Venue, he didn't move, and well done to Remy because that was smart.
So we can I think we can iterate there. It is actually hit, but he's conscious, moving. That is most important for any player that plays the game, and it's good that. It's great to see he's back on his own 2 feet. Yeah, Scotty Redford's even, he's having his Bremen aside release there, Scotty Redford.
Scotty's having a laugh. He had a good night Friday night, Scotty. He was up on stage a fair bit.
With you and me on stage on Friday night at Canelabar.
So, he'll come from the field here, Buchanan, but thankfully it's by way of sort of a couple of blokes carrying him rather than a stretcher. So that's good, although his day's done.
Okay, so this will just... Yeah, he's looking at nagging there, Ray Buchanan, so...
Yeah, based on his speed, he might get off the field in about 25 minutes.
Oh, well, I mean, I wasn't planning on it. Well, I thought I would need the sleeping bag, as I made mention yesterday in a call with Southport and Chugan, the semi-final up there. They had the under-20s game between, I said this to you before we went on air, the Mudgeeraba Redbacks and Runaway Bay. 20 minutes of extra time. I thought I was going to have to get you a new offside across that, Crosby.
Yeah, well, I was sort of hoping to see a bit of extra time, but at this stage it doesn't appear, although stranger things have happened. If the Mustangs can get over now and bridge that gap and get their tails up, you never know, because they do score points quickly, like I've mentioned. So let's hope for the sake of this contest that we can see the Mustangs get across the stripe.
And we must make mention, as you can see, Ray Buchanan, he's done what he needed to do today. He knows that his day is done. So we just want to make mention, you can see the clock there just above the Ladbrokes logo there that is still running. So we'll just try and do our best to know how much extra time is after 40 minutes or 80 minutes. So this is going to be Adam Walker offloads it. Oh, Toby McIntosh, if he had got his hands on that.
I'll tell you what there, Kelsheither saved a certain try. He got his hands in the way. If that goes to McIntosh, that's try time. So put that down. That's a really big moment there. That could have certainly been 4 points, if not 6. So big play there from Sheether.
So Ballina, they're going to have to dig deep now and hold their defence of what they've been doing so well. But they know they let in another try in there. Still plenty of time to claw back 14 points. And a little bit of a hospital pass, and that's not going to help matters on the first time of asking. And that's handed that one right back to the Ballina Seagulls, into the hands of Zach Beecher. So this is Chad North, will now play it in the second phase. Splits that one up, gets it 25 metres away from the Ballina line. Michael Dwayne plays short side. Then Hayden Hanson now. So this is, I've seen time and time again, Ballina, this is looking like Ballina fifth gear like play now. Michael Dwayne will now play it from Third phase of play, getting in the hand through Andrew Brasek, and he just digs the shoulder in there and just gets it just shy halfway. Michael Dwayne, he'll get in. That's in the hands of Hayden Hanson. That's into Jamie Lyon. Lyon in the hands of Jack Durham, and he's going to be wrapped in there by the likes of Adam Walker. So this is now fifth and last, 45 metres out. This is Ritter from dummy half. He goes himself, kicks it over about a half a dozen. He's plucked that right into the hands. That's Jack Bishop. Sorry, Toby McIntosh. So I wonder if Jack Bishop's still out in the field there too, because I did have that concern about his left leg.
Yeah, Bishop, I'm just trying to find him, and just back to Ritter. That's why front rowers don't kick. Jamie Lyon made him go to dummy half so he could get past the ball and kick, but Ritter thought he'd do it himself. Jack Bishop, I can see Cusack here on this left wing.
Okay, so
I can't see Bishop
because he was hobbling after he scored that second try here. So, all right, so this will be now played. That's Cade Hill. Nice pass. Oh, he managed to just get a hand on that, and that's going to now be played here by Liam Cusack from dummy half, and they're now just outside of 40. That's a big, high spiralling kick. Well read there by Oliver Regan, as he's done so for the last couple of months. He'll go for a gallop. He's just going to be brought down in the grips there of Caleb Howe.
Well, that was a beautiful, towering torpedo spiral bomb, and Oliver Regan just took that in his sleep. Outstanding take from Regan.
So this is going to be played here by Chad North from dummy half. He'll go for a run, and he's going to be met there just 10 inside field, just shy halfway. Michael Dwayne plays on the left side, and he's going to be brought down there by Scott Nichols, and he's appealing for a penalty. He's going to get it too. 2-on-1 strip, so now Ballina should find valuable position to start a set of 6 and really now put the game to bed.
Yeah, well, if you just cast your mind back a couple of minutes, Dwayne, this all comes from the fact that the Mustangs got a scrum 10 metres out. I think it was Ethan Kane went to the line. He was looking for a short option. The ball went astray and it ended up in the hands there of the Seagulls, and that was on tackle 1. And from there now, the Seagulls, they've had most of the possession, and we're going to see Coleman carry in here to the middle of the field, and so Seagulls on the attack. Coleman,
normally when he scores a deuce on the back of it, and he's been doing well to get those line breaks to make it happen. This is going to be Michael Dwayne. If this were really now put the shield. No, I spoke too soon. Oh, so that's going to be a double knock on. Scrum feed should go to the Mustangs.
Well, that was a real heads-up play there. That was Adam Walker. He took the intercept. It was a beautiful pair of hands. It was going to be a try at the other end for your life. And he looked for the early offload for Cusack because he knows the speed that he does possess, but Cusack couldn't come up with a catch on that occasion.
So I don't think Tim Booth has actually called the first knock on against Ballina there, Cross. He has definitely acknowledged it against Murwillumbah. I thought Ballina might have knocked that forward first and then went the other way. Mustangs not off the hook yet.
Yeah, the Mustangs will have to hold them at bay here. This is game, set, match here.
So this is Michael Dwayne playing at the back of the scrum. Gets in, that's Anthony Coleman. And he'll do well to get about 10 metres on the bounce here. This will be now Michael Dwayne. He's liking that short side. He heads that way. They want to just get it over and done with and then go sing the song and hold the shield up, Ballina. And they're probably about one try from sealing it here. This is going to be Hayden Hanson. He's going to be brought down there just inside 10. Michael Dwayne plays it from dummy half, gets in the hands of Perry. That goes into the hands of Brasek, and he's going to look to go himself. If he got through those grips he was in, this is going to now be Perry. Jamie Lyon, pass it in to Nicholas Ritter, and he's got the strength. That's going to be Oliver Regan. Has he got enough force down? He's going to fall just short then, Oliver Regan.
Great tackle.
So this is going to be Michael Dwayne into the hands of Perry. That's going to be Lyon. He would like a triple. He gets in the hands of Durham. He's thought about passing it. Now goes himself. I think there was a strip there. Should be. He's going to call for it too.
Oh, Sammy O'Day, what a play that was. Durham was going to score for all money.
Okay, so Ballina still going to hold the beer off ice at least for the next few minutes. They know now that they should have enough points if they defend well from here. And after that injury, so we're probably looking at about 10 minutes and change left. Although the clock says 7.5, that's definitely would not be the case because after he acknowledged what happened with Ray Buchanan.
That's right, we had some time off there, didn't we, which that clock has not stopped. The Mustangs, they need this little trick play like we saw with Cade Hill early with an early kick or something. I know the Mustangs, they're quite agitated with the wrestling and the holding down of this Seagulls team. They've got numbers here, Mustangs.
So they've got about 3-on-1, but they eventually, that should have gone to Venishaw about maybe another 10 seconds earlier because they were 3-on-1 on the left side. But Ballina now just got their Their line set. This is now going to be played there by McIntosh. He's brought around there. He's that's a little bit of sloppy play from both teams here. This could even be 6 more here, Crossy. I don't know. That was knocked back more than anything.
Goes Bishop.
So that's Jack Bishop. He's got the fires pumping. He's going to be brought down there. Well defended there by Jess Perry.
Okay, well, did he take his advantage there?
And there's going to be afters here. There's Nick Walker has just done a big push into Chad North. Now frustrations there and some words that we can't exactly repeat in the box here. Yeah, well, so there's actually a complete different vibe. If you can see the light blue shirts that they were selling downstairs there, Crossy. This is a different kind of Robbo's Hill than what we saw 12 months ago, and the noise is probably triple the decibels.
Yeah, well, this time 12 months ago, the Raiders had absolutely taken Robbo's Hill out of the equation.
And they took out probably the fence over the left-hand side, left-hand side signage there. I made that mention that they've actually come prepared this year, the staff here. They've got the temporary orange security tape about a metre in between.
They've created a bit of a buffer. I did some post-match interviews last year, and I nearly got rolled in a stampede of Raiders blokes in a green shirt. So that won't be happening today, of course. And at the moment, I don't think we'll see any blue and yellow stampeding the field. It looks like it's the Seagulls from here.
So just that injury to the insole. The Mustangs now just looking ever so frustrated as a third time at trying at Kingford Smith Park to win a title is just ever so coming out of their grips.
Well, this is it. I think we can see young Billy Dwayne about to make his way on. He's got the number 7 replacement card in his hand, so he'll get to a taste of a first grade grand final.
And Crossy, I'm gone out of business of trying to say if anyone with the same surname and the same team are related. I made mention that reserve grade, made that last week, and I made that when they got the phone call from Mr. Goff about a week ago. So anyone from Ballina want to say if Michael Milpil related and how so, let us know. So this is going to be Jamie Lyon who plays it into the hands of Jess Perry. That's Anthony Coleman, brought down there by Remy Venu. This is Jess Perry. This is Ritter. That's Hayden Hanson. He would love to get on the try scoring sheet. He's been one of the better players for the Ballina Seagulls.
The Mustangs left edge is gone here, Dwayne. They've got to get there. Got to play the ball.
Michael Dwayne, I don't think he's turned his head left to look at it, but he is going to go that way. So that's going to go to Perry. Big long pass. That's gone into Regan. You give him a gap, he'll go over. But he's just going to close up just enough for him. And with that being said, he's just handed that one right into the hands. I think that was Killen Biltoff. He's handed that. Sorry, that's Nick Walker.
They just keep hanging in here, don't they? The Mustangs, they're hanging in by the thread of their teeth. If that's a sign.
Okay, so that's a little bit of a sloppy pass. Nevertheless, I've got this one back into the hands of Johnny Van der Schel. And so now we're just winding down the last few minutes here. Ballina, even at 14 points, you'd think that, as I made mention, that you think that should be enough in the bank for them to get the job done. Unless, Murwillumbah can just pull something out from their own half of field, because Ballina are just now absolutely strangling them there in defence, just pinning them down. They've been doing that ever since the kickoff. So that's going to be now Jack Bishop. He had hands on that. He probably goes, but in turn, it's gone into Zach Beecher. And he's going to get probably about 10 or 15 metres than what Murwillumbah Mustangs wouldn't like there, Crossy.
Well, that sums up probably the day and even the week for the Mustangs. If that goes to hand with Bishop, he probably races 50, 60 metres and scores, but just not their day, unfortunately, for the Mustangs fans and for the club here and Coach Nathan Jordan. And now we're going to see the Seagulls go forward. And, Dwayne, I think we're about to see the final blow in the Mustangs' coffin in a minute.
So this is going to be Michael Dwayne. He likes that left side. Goes that way. Into the hands of Perry. Into the hands of Coleman. You normally bank on him scoring 2 when he normally gets 1. But this is now going to be Jess Perry to play from dummy half. This is Michael Dwayne. That's Lyon. Big cutout pass. There's 6 and 7s on the right side. Durham brings it back infield. Jamie Lyon's going to be held off there by Dan Turtline. Michael Dwayne runs backwards. He's going to go himself. He normally... And he's just going to be brought now just 10 metres out. There's still tackles up the sleeve for Ballina. Kel Shiva. He's going to be... it's just slipped under the grips of Dan Turtline. He almost got just under there, almost thread the needle there. This is 5th and last.
We've got a Mustangs player has not moved out here, Nev.
And Tim Booth has just acknowledged it. And it's in back play too, right on the 10 metres. You can't see it in the shot here. And you're right, Cross. He hasn't. Oh, he's just moved his right arm.
He just moved them, but he hadn't moved for probably 10 or 15 seconds. Hard to make out, obviously, who that is. Just don't like to see this stuff in a grand final.
So, Murwillumbah Mustangs have really come to battle for that.
He's holding the trainer there. It looks like he's training holding the inside.
That's his knee, I think.
Could be an MCL there.
He slammed it. He knows. I think he knows. I don't even. Couldn't make out the number of who that is.
Yeah,
but he knows it too. And now look at that. That's what we want to see. Jamie Lyon.
That might be built off, I think.
Jamie Lyon. This is what we want to see in local footy. Jamie Lyon. That's why he's one of the better guys in the game.
Well, he's a great player, Jamie Lyon, but he's an even better fella. He's a terrific fella, and that obviously speaks volumes for sort of what he's about and why this Ballina sort of team and town have got behind him and bought in because of the person that he is, and you can see it with the players and the culture he's created here at this club.
So this is Michael Dwayne. This is now the fourth phase of play. Oh, he over the line, but he's going to be just held up there, Hayden Hansen. And so he's claiming it. I thought for a moment he was going to claim a try here, but no. I thought that was a fourth tackle there. So he's playing it like it's piss okay. So as we were, this is Dan Turtland. Takes us up into the chest there of Anthony Coleman. And you'd think now, Crossy, even 14 points, and we're now officially now in stoppage time, if you want to call it that. This is now Jack Bishop, who's going to be brought down there on his own accord. They're 10 metres out from the Mustangs line.
As we see Biltoff getting sort of carried off here, round of applause from the crowd. He's a huge year, Biltoff, and not to be for him here today, but congratulations on a great season as we see the Mustangs sort of attack this left edge.
So that's Toby McIntosh. And so what's coming out of this? Mustangs were appealing for, they were claiming that he's knocked the ball, and you can just see the frustrations now on Toby McIntosh. He knows this is going to be too much of a feat now for the Mustangs to pry this one away, and there can't be really a lot of time left. And Yomo's Hill, you can hear them over the other side of the field. They're singing a different tune than what it was 12 months ago. And this is probably Ballina. They've won several grand finals over the years, and one eluded them last year. But you probably rank on this one being one of the sweeter ones, because even for me, and even when we were talking in the off-season coming into the season, when they lost the likes of Andrew Batiste, Dylan Montgomery, Dan Gibson, and you bring in Jamie Lyon as well as Mick Foster, you'd think that it's the great unknown to know that if Ballina are going to have, after you lose about 5 of your mates as well as one of your loyal coaches, if they were going to do it, and they've just doubled down and made it even better than previous years.
Well, we've got a penalty here, so points here. We'll see what he does.
So Jamie Lyon, will they take someone else to take a kick?
They're going to have a run here.
So this is going to be Nicholas Ritter. He will just take that one there about 15 metres away now from the Mustangs line. And this is now going to be Michael Dwayne, plays into the short side into the hands. That's Hayden Hansen. He's going to be brought in there just inside Tanner Field. This is going to be now Michael Dwayne. Plays the short side. He's favoured that a lot in the second half. That's Jess Perry. Thought about passing it, but then last split second there, he just opted to go himself. This is their little inside pass to Philip Crosby. And it's just going to be held just short. So this will be now Michael Dwayne to play it. He'll get it through as many sets of hands he can on the right side. There is numbers, Oliver Regan. So just gone out of his grip there, Oliver Regan. So this is now going to be a scrum feed for the Mustangs, about 15 out from their own line.
Yeah, and that'll just chew the clock even further as we count down here to Ballina taking out this 2019 premiership. And just further on to your point there, Nev, about the players they did lose. Let's talk about the guys they lost. They lost Andrew Batiste,
Montgomery.
And Montgomery. But Batiste probably the best player in the competition, in my opinion, for probably the last decade, along with the guy you just mentioned in Montgomery. So they've lost two of the best players in the competition. I know people here, like Mick Foster was ousted as coach to make way for Jamie Lyon. A lot of people weren't happy about it. Jamie Lyon's come in, like I said at the top, basically almost on a hiding to nothing, given that the club's been so successful for so long, and the only way he's down, it's not like he's come into a club where they haven't played finals.
Absolutely.
And he can take them forward. So for a bloke of his calibre to come in and have that reputational risk to maybe come in and not make a finals or not play a grand final, but that didn't come into his thinking, Dwayne, because that's not the person he is. He's come in for the greater good for the club and for the town, and because he loves it, and the work he's done with this young team and made them better players, it's on show here today. And mate, I'm really happy for him. Like 20 years ago, we were playing in a reserve grade grand final for Parramatta together, and who would have thought 20 years' time he's here at Ballina and I'm calling the game. And and he's captain coach. So, mate, I'm proud of him. He's had such an illustrious career at NRRRL level, but I know that doing this at local footy means so much to him. So, it's a killer. Well done.
And I wonder whether he would rank that in winning grand finals for Manly, doing the job for Australia, and as well as for the likes of St Helens in the English Super League. That's the man there himself, Jamie Lyon. So this is now going to be played from dummy half into the hands of, that's Wade Riley. That's going into Dan Turtland.
I'll tell you what with Turtland, mate, sorry to interrupt, but he's been outstanding, Turtland. In a losing team, he's had a great game.
Absolutely, and Mrs. Turtland, who is one of the loyal supporters. So there's going to be Oliver Regan. He's going to go for about 70 metres, and off his opposite number, makes a big crunching tackle there. Toby McIntosh. I wanted to make mention there. So Mrs. Turtland, she always watches the live stream, and this wee hours over in the UK. So you can be every bit proud of your boy there, Dan Turtland. He's really done a job today. He's probably been one of the better players, if not the best player, for the Murwillumbah Mustangs. And this is going to be the final play for 2019. It eluded him last year. Is this going to be Reece Richards? Can he add the extras?
Jamie Lyon's inside.
So Jamie Lyon, he started the game doing the business, and he's going to get a hat-trick at ending the business. And what a way to end the 2019 NRRRL Final Series, and to put the grand final trophy back in the shield for the Ballina Seagulls. Jamie Lyon started as a captain and a coach and finishes it off as a player.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I don't know who's been writing killer scripts for the last 20 years, but he's had a very good script writer, and you called it earlier, Nev. Can he get 3? In the back of my mind, I thought he could, and if you had your Ladbrokes betting account, you would have been looking for those exotic bets. Jamie Lyon 3 tries, and there it is. What a way to cap off this grand final.
And that chalks up 40 points to 18. Should be 42-18. And yet it eluded him over the past 12 months. It was a different vibe, and that's Hayden Hanson just boots that one over. What a win, and what a grand final win. Ballina are back on top of the dais. They are the NRRRL champions for 2019. And you can see there the loyal supporters on Yobbo's Hill are now going to converge onto the ground from both ends. Justice for... And so there you can see absolute jubilation there. That Premier side has come out more than once today. And they'll party this one long and hard down River Street there, Crossy.
Won't they ever? So, Nev, I'm going to head out to the field and grab a couple of players for a post-game interview. And congratulations to Ballina. Big congratulations to Nathan Jordan, Glenn Weaver, Damien Quinn, all the Mustangs people. Had a great season. Had a tricky week this week with some injuries and some suspension. So, don't underestimate this season. They've had a great year. They're a great club, and not their week or day today, but they'll be back bigger and better next year.